And had our own egos because we're working in very reputed companies like Bell Labs, and we both were very happy where we were headed. And one thing was for sure that the person was a good friend of mine. His name is Sudhir and his wife Sulba. Both of them, they are the ones who were really instrumental in kind of showing us the presentation and everything. When we got started in the business, the way we develop is definitely much more different than what most of you are experiencing. This was because it was 25 years back. Technology was not there and things were completely different, So we did whatever we needed to do at that time. So anyhow, long story short, when our sponsors, Sudhir, very much at that time, being close friend and everything, he asked us to, come to the presentation and whatnot. But eventually, long story short, guys, when we saw the presentation, personally, I was ready to go. The reason I was ready to go was because I was open-minded. Open-minded because as I was growing up, my dad, he was a businessman, and he would always, I was not even sure if he did it on purpose, but he would always say, education is good, you should get a good education. That's the reason he made sure that all four of us brothers did good education and all that. And then he would always say, but it doesn't mean that you have to work for somebody else for the rest of your life. That seed was planted in my brain for a long time. So when something showed up in our view, we were open-minded, and I was more ready for sure. So mentality-wise, I would say that I had more entrepreneurial mindset compared to my wife Renuka, because she comes from a very highly educated family, whatnot. And one thing is for sure, guys, we realized that once we got started, we found out that to be successful in this business, you need to develop the skill set for sure, okay? Skill set is very important for you to, get moving on in the business for sure. But at the same time, you cannot develop a skill set until you develop a proper mindset, okay? So tonight, we will cover some points, we'll give you some tips about how to develop a proper mindset and a skill set. Okay? And I'll tell you what, initially my wife, she said, if you would like to continue or start the business, continue the business, up to you, no problem. She started when we started the business, both of us were not fired up, ready to conquer the world. No. Initially, I was the one who wanted to really do this, and she was more on the passive side. But later on, when things came together, she equally said, hey, my business too, let's do it together. Okay, the reason we are here is because, folks, right now, for many years, we think the same way, we act the same way, and I'll tell you what, the way we do together is definitely, I would say, amazing, because we understand each other. And I'll tell you what, Renuka has got high standards in a big way. And I'm so happy and lucky to be married to a beautiful wife, Renuka Reddy. There is Renuka.
He was for sure ready to conquer the world from day one, that is for sure. And like Manipal said, it is so true that I come from a background, everybody in our family was very successful in their careers. They pursued excellence in their careers and reached high levels in their professions. But there was also an undertone of them looking down on people who own businesses. It was almost considered that to be a business owner, there was something they had to be a little unscrupulous and do something unethical. That is the mindset I grew up with. So business was definitely not something I could connect with, or it did not resonate with me at all. And very much set with a 9 to 5 kind of a mindset. Go to work, you get a paycheck, live a life, good life, and with whatever you can do, help others, and that's how our parents set the example, and that's all I could believe in. And to give you, and after I came to this country, I got married and came to this country and got into jobs, we were living a life, some of the psychologists gave it a term called pluralistic ignorance, and what that means is everybody is doing something dumb, and we are all part of it. We all know that what we are doing is not the right thing, but nobody dares admit that it is the wrong thing. And how many of you can relate to this example where you're in a class, a professor is teaching, and the professor asks, do you have a question? No student is brave enough to lift up their hand because they'll think they will look dumb. And going to work and going that path of a 9 to 5 job, and for 40 years, we all knew it was the wrong path, because I see some of my friends today who are still working a job and living a life of quiet desperation. But we were living that life too and not understanding. But you know what? I'm so glad I was married to a person like Manipal, who was willing to think out of the box and know that this is something that could make a difference in our lives. And I'm so ever grateful for him for standing up for what he believed in and pursuing this business opportunity and putting in the work. And many people that we were associating with, whether it's family or friends, many people, when we went to them, they would always show what the problem was. They could identify. If they said, if we are struggling with finances or with anything, they could very well identify a problem. But there was nobody out there who would help us find a solution to our problems. And that is what I noticed even today. Most people are experts in identifying problems. Whether it is who is governing us or what needs to be done in the medical industry, or they know how to point a finger at something that's wrong, but they don't know how to work towards a solution. And this business, the people in this business gave us an opportunity to find solutions to the problems we are going to encounter in our lives. And
yeah, guys, I'll tell you folks, the mindset is something that, most of you here grew up, went to good colleges, all of us have been programmed to get a job and work for somebody else, right? And when the doors were open to the business opportunity, and when you eventually earn the partnership, once you got selected into the whole thing, so there's a different world altogether. There's a different world because in this business, for you to create an asset, you will definitely have to deal with people. You will have to deal with personalities. You will have to develop patience. You will have to get good at many different things. Okay, that's where the mindset is so important. I'll tell you what, mindset can really be, improved or assessed by continually working with your mentor. What we call an HPH. Continuous communication with your mentor is extremely important. Okay, he can assess you and help you. Okay, and then basically the next thing is obviously, and of course we're going to do mindset and skill set together. And skill set is, I truly believe, can be developed by doing a large amount of work. That's the only way. The only way you can learn the skill set is doing a large amount of work. Okay, and obviously in our system, as everybody has been talking about audios and streaming and everything. Okay, we have access to many CDs, many talks that have been done by people who have been, who have succeeded in the business. So when you listen to a lot of these tracks, a lot of the series, you can definitely study. I'll tell you what you need to, you have to see, for you to develop the skill set, you have to study the tracks. Okay, if you're listening to a rally story, you can just listen as you're driving. That's okay. But there are some tracks, some talks that you need to learn. You have to understand. You need to study a subject. That's what we have done. Okay. And one more thing I would definitely say that the progression of the skill set is definitely gradual. You need to be patient. You need to be patient. I'll tell you, a lot of people, they have the patience after high school, patience to go to college for 4 years. Pay hundreds of thousands of dollars. In some cases, they do masters, pay a lot of money, do PhD, pay a lot of money, and they have the patience to do what they were told to do, and then eventually get a job and continue to get to live paycheck to paycheck. And when they eventually get started in this business, when we talk about mindset, we talk about skill set. When we tell them this is how you need to develop your skill set, listen, read, associate. And what? People lose patience. The way I look at it, guys, what you're going to learn in this business is much more valuable than any degree you've got. Any degree you've got. Okay, be patient for sure. Okay, and I'll tell you what. One thing is, as you keep going along, before you see the results in the skill set, you'll observe that as your mindset is improving, first the mindset gets improved first. Then the skill set, then you will be able to learn the skill set.
Absolutely. There are many things that we need to change, especially going from an employee mindset to going towards a business and entrepreneurship mindset. It takes a switch in our way of thinking in many aspects of our life, not just in one dimension, in many dimensions of our life, And for us, one of the most important thing, I will say that we attribute our success to in this business is the trust and transparency we were able to establish with our coaches and mentors as we started building this business. That was very critical to our growth in this business. In Napoleon Hill calls it a mastermind alliance. It involves 2 or more people who work in perfect harmony for the attainment of a definite purpose. Through a mastermind alliance, you may borrow and use the education and experience, influence, and the capital of other people. And that's exactly what we did. We had to learn to trust Praveen and Madhu, Kanti and Lata, Sudhir and Sulba, to the point that, we could just listen to them with blind faith. It was not that way day one, but we came there. It was a process where we could earn their trust. And we were transparent enough with them, they could guide us and mentor us. The way, what I was saying earlier, we had to think differently in many aspects. In the way we thought about our time, managing our time, how we prioritize our life, what we gave importance to, whether when it came between this business versus a social activity, it was very clear for us which we chose. Whether it came between, giving up some time with our kids, with our very own kids when they were very young, to investing time in this business, it was very clear for us because we knew our why. And we knew that our guidance came from people who walked the walk before us. We knew that investing money into this business, it was investing, not spending. It was investment towards our future. How we thought about money changed, and they were like all these things we started learning and implementing in our lives. Accountability. These were not just words that somebody spoke about. Most importantly, we were very accountable to our very own dreams and goals. So everything else, once that was clear, then they said, you need to do this to go towards your goals and to accomplish your goals and dreams. we did it. You know, because we knew that we were our goals and dreams were very important to us. And Manipal talked about patience. You know, that is something, it was not easy for me because coming from a very typical employee mindset, you put in your 8 hours, you get a paycheck, and that is what we are used to. And most of us used to a very typical microwave mentality. We want something right away, you know, and that we needed to develop some patience to learn, to grow, and to work with people who came from different backgrounds and who had different skill sets. And we had to, and different goals and dreams, we had to learn to be patient with them as well.
I'll tell you guys, we are definitely, I would say, fortunate to be in this organization because we have got tremendous examples. The principles, the values, you know, the mindset. You know, we have people like Auntie and Lata, you know, who always have been, you know, example setters, trendsetters. You know, Praveen and Madhu, in the initial days, you know, what they did for us, you know, in teaching us little things that had a great impact on our growing up in the business. You know, later on, as you could see, just now Sujit and Kajal, you know, and this afternoon you heard Kankan and Sabina, you know, Vishal and Sonika, and AJ Ori and Sanjeev and Shah. I mean, there's so many leaders, you know, Kumar and Anjali, who are founders Double Diamonds. You know, when we joined the business, me and Kumar, I mean, we were naive, we were excited, we were looking for really something that we could become part of. And later on, as a beautiful thing about the business, guys, is you set your own pace. Okay? When I think about Kumar, one word comes into picture, which is clarity. He was as he was growing up in the business, his clarity was so clear, and he would say things that almost scare you know, and he would talk about power of spoken words and written goals and things like that, guys. That's what it's all about, mindset. You know, not only observing, not only listening, what you hear through CDs, what people from the stage say, but also implementing. That's very crucial. Okay? So clarity, guys. As Renima talked about, it could be why. Everybody needs to have why you would like to do this. Or you would say clarity. You know, clarity about what exactly would you like to do this in the business. Okay? So that's what we like to have. Talk about this 3 P's we talk about all the time. One is, I'll tell you, write down this 3 P's if you can. Okay? One is principle, which is mindset. The second one is practices. The third one is phrases. Okay, we talk about those principles, practices, and phrases here.
Yeah, and I'll talk about mindset, guys. The mindset has to be developed to think like a business owner, but also you have to get into the habits, certain habits. You know, how to think positive, how to think, how to have the success mindset. And you know what? You have to understand, we are all emotional beings. I know somebody talked about the EQ this afternoon, and it's very important to understand we are emotional people. But you know what? Being a business owner, we lose some rights. We do not have the right to express and show our emotions in front of everyone. Because you know what? People are depending on you to be steady as a rock. You know, and you need to be more like a thermostat, not like a thermometer. You know, steady wherever it's supposed to be. And you have to figure out, are you are we going through an emotional roller coaster? And you know what we realized is, most of the time you are who you are associating with. Who you are associating with. Who are the people who you surround yourself with on a day-to-day basis? Are they uplifting you? Are they pushing you towards becoming a better person, a better human being? Are they propelling you towards your dreams and goals, or are they pulling you back? You have to figure out. I've noticed this with many people. When they hang out with people who speak bad language, they come home and speak bad language. You know, if they are having some bad habits, they take that home with them. And you have to learn, as you put in all this positive into your mind through the association, through the talks and through the reading, you have to deliberately disassociate yourself from the negative influences. And sometimes you do not even know that they are negative influences. You know, and I heard this on a CD once, you know, it could be the music you're listening to. Are the lyrics uplifting you, or are they, you know, is it all very negative? You know, you have to be very, very conscious of everything that's going into this mind of yours. You know, I heard a statement, is your mind a warehouse or a factory? You know, if it's a warehouse and it is going to be a repository for everything that's coming your way, for information, positive and negative, it's just not going to do anything about it. You have to protect your mind in such a way that everything that's going in is something that you're going to process and take it out like a factory would, so that the end result is going to take you towards your dreams and goals. So you have to be very careful, you know, protect your mind as much as you can as you protect your computer or your phone. You know, and that's very important, you know, because as you're having doubts, you know, having doubts as you're putting in the work, it's very common to have doubts. But you know what? It is acting and dwelling on the doubts is not right. You know, what are you going to do as you have these doubts and questions in your mind, as challenges come along? That is where the mentorship and your coaching will make a difference in your life. You know, in our lives, our mentors were able to help us normalize our challenges. You know, life will happen to each and every one of us, whether we like it or not. How are you going to handle those challenges? And that's where the coaching and mentorship comes in.
Yeah, guys, association, Nirika spoke about that. I'll tell you what, remember, if you're hanging out with about 9 of your broke friends, guess who the 10th broke person is? Very important about being very extremely careful about whom you are hanging around with. Okay? And when we understood the power of association, guys, we valued our time and we made sure that we spent most of our work, most of our time with people who added value into our lives. We spent time with people who have in life what we are looking to have. You know, that's extremely crucial, guys. I mean, it's very, very easy for you to stay excited here. It's very easy for you to stay, you know, positive about all that stuff. What matters is, guys, when you go back home, when you're with a colleague, you know, saying certain things, how would you react to those things, okay? So,
yeah, actually on the same thing, I just wanted to say, like, as you disassociate, you know, I mean, like, you know what, somebody asked me, like, we recommend vitamin C for smokers, you know, it's a good vitamin that helps smokers develop some immunity and all that. Just because you're taking vitamin C, it does not give you the license to go and have an extra pack of cigarettes. Just because you're putting in so much positive does not mean you feel you can handle all that negative. The best thing is to cut it off, you know. And you know, one more thing Manipal just touched upon, you know, about most of the time we are hanging around with ourselves more than with other people. What you say is what you get. What are you saying to yourself on a daily? Are you thinking uplifting thoughts about yourself? Are you saying that you're a good person? Are you having negative thoughts in your mind about yourself? You know, what you say when no one's looking forward.
Affirmations.
Affirmations, and that is the most important thing, guys. What you talk to yourself. You know, and that...
Who you are when no one is looking at you.
Yeah. When no one's looking, what are you talking to yourself? That is one of the most important things you need to work at.
Yeah, guys, actually one of the principles we talk about is people over profit. Okay? Think about that. People over profit. When you show a presentation, one of the slides that says people over profit. Okay, what does it really mean? You know, if you really value this, guys, if you really value this statement, you will never manipulate your framework to benefit you. I'm telling you folks, that's very, very important. You cannot, you see, as you keep doing the work, you cannot keep manipulating things, it cannot be you first. No, there's no way. If you're thinking about it's all about you, you will never be able to build a big organization. You have to think, observe, and think about other people. Very, very important, guys. People before profit is very, very important. But in corporate America, it's not the same. You know that, right? It's profits and more profits for them. But here, we really, guys, that is the reason I can really go back and see as we were growing up in the business, even though in the beginning days, we were not creating a whole lot. But our upline never looked at us, man, these guys are not creating a whole lot, we should really spend the time. You know what? They added value, they kept depositing into our lives. That's really what it really means by people before, profits. Okay? And the next thing is, guys, selection over soliciting. I'm telling you, if you really value this, your language and how you deal with red flags, you will do just right. I'm telling you what, I'm telling you guys, the whole thing about selection, over some solicitation as an example, right? Soliciting. Selection, guys, as we go through, if you see certain red flags, if you see certain things are not going the right way, it's okay to step back. It's okay to step back, don't try to manipulate. I rather take a step back and address the red flag and see, if you could help them think right. If not, let it go, no big deal. Okay? And the next thing is, guys, character or credentials. If you really value this, guys, you will not let someone's looks or badge, impress you or lack of it lessen the importance. You will always stay hash.
We don't want to do it.
Looking for people who are hash. Very, very important, guys. Character. For us, it's a big thing. A lot of people have so many credentials. In corporate, we know that people get hired by credentials, but they get fired by character. For us, in our business, guys, that is the reason, guys, when people come here, I'll tell you what, the principles of the BWW system, we'll never mix alcohol to businesses. We don't speak bad language. We respect women in this group in a big way. There's so many things.
Absolutely. The statement I love to say is, credential determine where you have been, character determines where you're going. And that's what we are looking, when we say hash, we are looking for people who are hungry, accountable, appreciative, and smart, and humble, hungry, appreciative, and smart. And that we cannot figure out in one meeting. That is why we put them through the process. And that process will make us determine, are these people really looking? Are they willing to learn? In the weeks that they go through the process, there is a change you see in them. And that is where, as long as they're going in the right direction, we make sure that is the right person will be given the offer. If there are any times you have a doubt, we don't want those people. The timing may not be right, or they just may not be the right candidate for this business. And we are willing to walk away from that meeting. And that is the boldness you need to carry with you. We are here to vet people, not get people. And that is something you have to always remember every meeting you go to.
Remember, guys, one more thing is, remember, quality over quantity. What's the goal of the process? If you work with the wrong people, it will lead you to the wrong conclusions. A lot of people, if you have the attitude of, doing it fast, attitude of let's get it. We do not get anybody. Okay, so that's the reason, guys, we are super excited about what the process has done, what you need to do about developing the mindset and the skill set, and Let's talk about skill set a little bit now.
Yes, absolutely. Okay. One of the things in our own case, guys, as we are learning new skills and building this business, the best way to learn this business is by being in the field. You know, you can learn a lot by reading and everything, but you know what, to actually really gain some knowledge is by experience on the field. I've heard the statement by many speakers that, you know what, when you are just reading about something or hearing about it from, let's say, your coach or your mentor, only a certain part of it is absorbed in your brain. But when you're in the field, there's an adrenaline rush, your senses are heightened by 3 times more, and your absorption of your experience and that learning you get through it is 3 times more than you can ever get from any book or, you know, anybody's teaching. And you know what, we've heard the statement that, you know what, too much learning and no action produces motivated underachievers. And that's something you have to work at, just being out in the field and doing it. That is the only way you can conquer your fears and you can improve your skill set.
Yeah, guys, to improve the skill set, you've got to start running. I mean, start doing the work. That's where it starts. And then, once you start doing the running and everything, then, you know, you reflect upon what exactly are you really doing. And then reflection, and then the next thing is refining, you know. And then all this thing, you know, running, doing the work and reflecting and refining, all this can be done when you actually doing a huddle with your coach. Okay, where the coach can really can really, based on what you're doing, he can guide you. Okay, and then, you know, one thing that as Renuka said, guys, it can be done only through massive, imperfect action, deep, immersive learning, you know, and an intensive mastermind alliance. You know, I'll tell you what, to acquire a skill set in our business, guys, you know, skill set is required in starting with little things, you know, how you dress up, you know, and how you do a handshake, and how you look somebody in the eye, you know, how you proper smile, and you know, little things like that. That's where we start being in the beginning days.
How to have a conversation with people.
Right.
Little things, how to manage your time and money, I said that about earlier.
And
but you know what, until this point in your life, you never had a need to do it. So, you know, being in this business now, you have a need to go out and look people in the eye. You need to have that good handshake. You need to have that good conversation. So now is a good time to learn all these skills.
And then I'll tell you guys, we typically go through these 4 different stages of learning. Okay? The first one is called unconscious.